Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be talking about King of the Court and how 2K can, I think, really do a lot of things better in 2K26, my team with King of the Court. There has only been one King of the Court so far. Huge congratulations to my guy Splash for winning the first King of the Court of the year. Deserves a lot of credit. Shout out Splash. He's one of the best, if not the best player in the world, probably the best player in the world right now. And as far as I'm aware, he earned it, man. Give him credit. But with that being said, the format was clearly flawed this first weekend in a few different ways. And I want to talk about, we have an entire year of this. There are multiple ways in which they could make this so much better than it is right now. So, number one, I think we just have to talk about the format, and then we'll talk about another distinction that I think 2K should try to make as well, potentially. But the first thing, obviously, with the format was the amount of cheaters that are involved. People like, I think his name was Not That Bad or Not Like That. I think maybe may have been his name. Joey 2K couple of other people who were also on the top 10 leaderboard were cheaters in King of the Court, and I hope those people, they did get, I believe, 2-week bans or whatever the case may be, but I really hope 2K does a very intentional job of trying to crack down on cheaters this year to prevent them from even being able to play in this type of stuff. If someone is cheating in this type of stuff, they should be identified and they should be banned. And I'm not talking about short, temporary, halfway bans. I'm talking about like legitimate bans. I think they should be perma-banning people, or perma-banning accounts at a very minimum, for cheating. Plain and simple. If you are using a Zen or any sort of other device that allows you to cheat, 2K needs to invest in the ability to have anti-cheat to detect that stuff, which I think they probably can detect it. And if they detect it, they should permaban people. Plain and simple. So with that being said, additionally, the format itself, despite the fact that Splash won and Splash may be the best, seems really flawed right now. It's based on your 4 best games. It seems like you get more points per game if you're playing with lower tier cards. Just as of right now, it's not a logical format, and it's so it's just not authentic. It doesn't feel like a real competitive mode. And there is so many opportunities. Look at the way that other sports video games run their competitive scene. MLB The Show, Madden, etc. They have these competitive tournaments that are legitimate tournaments. You have like brackets and qualifiers and seeding, and it's a legitimate tournament. I don't understand if King of the Court wants to be a weekly or even a bi-weekly thing. I personally think maybe bi-weekly, but if it wants to be a weekly thing, there are still ways to do this so much better. Let's talk about how it could be a weekly thing. Now, this might be a little intensive, but let's say weekly you play and it starts Friday. We'll say it starts Friday at the same time it starts right now. So I guess that'd be Friday at 5 p.m. Central Time was when it started this past week. So we'll say that starts then and it ends Saturday night at midnight Pacific. So whatever time it started and then ends at midnight Pacific Saturday night. They then take the top 16 qualifiers from that week. Again, they have to have a process that actually vets these people and makes sure they're not cheating. But you make sure they're not cheating. You then transfer them into a tournament and they play on Sunday. And then the winner on Sunday gets $10,000. It's a 16-team tournament, 4 rounds, they play each other on Sunday, and it's like that. Now, maybe that wouldn't work in a once-a-week format, but they could absolutely have some sort of qualifier period with some sort of qualifier rules. They could use a third party, the way that like Madden does, where you sign up for tournaments online and are put into a pool and assigned against different people. You play against different people in your pool. You're scored based on on different variables, but mostly record and stuff. And then you again take your top whatever, you put them into a tournament, you have them play against each other. I don't see why we're not running actual tournaments. We have the opportunity here to have awesome competitive gameplay on a weekly basis, where we get to watch the best players in the world, the Splashes and the Ties and the Nikes and the Lus and everybody else. These would be great tournaments on a week-to-week basis. And yes, Splash would win a lot of them and Ty would win a lot of them, and even other guys like Ebans and Nike and other people like that, I'm sure, would win, and maybe it would be dominated by the top players. That's what a competitive tournament probably should be. And it certainly shouldn't be dominated by flukes and cheating and stuff. And I think that's the first thing to me with this format is that I just don't know if the format they have right now is conducive to producing a real deserving winner on a week-to-week basis. I don't know. We'll see. Shout out to Splash for winning the first one. Unfortunately, I don't expect the format to change. One thing that definitely could change, though, is the rewards. For the second year in a row, if you don't get #1 overall, you don't get anything at all. Other than like second place and the last player in the top 1% get the exact same thing. I would love to see the top 10 or whatever, even if you keep the format the same, get something, whether that's a small cash prize, VC, a pink diamond hidden gem instead of a diamond. Henry HTB put out a tweet about this yesterday, and I think it was an absolutely awesome point. But that being said, I think realistically, here's the honest truth why I don't think any of this stuff will change in terms of actually running a real King of the Court tournament, in terms of putting more effort into identifying and banning and preventing cheaters, in terms of putting effort into rewarding the people who do well. At the end of the day, I think most of what my team is doing these days, and this is something I may make a video on, even potentially like tomorrow. I think most of what my team is doing these days is like almost AI automated. It's not fully automated, but it's mostly automated. You know what I mean? They have the system set up to kind of run on its own for the most part these days, in terms of the sets are scheduled months in advance, the content is planned months in advance, and like, yeah, they probably have a couple of people making sure there's not cheating going on at the top of the King of the Court leaderboard, but they're not thoroughly monitoring this stuff. I wish they were, but I don't think they are. And at the end of the day, we're probably not going to see formats change and things because they don't care. They're going to make a lot more money than they lose by this 10K a week tournament. And honestly, I don't think 2K cares that much who wins it. It's the truth. The mode is basically just on autopilot most of the time. And so the unfortunate truth is we ask for change and it's just realistically probably not going to happen. I don't know. So you know what? The rewards are a lot better than they were last year. The mode as a whole, still better than it was last year. Still feels soulless in a lot of ways, and still flawed in my opinion. But huge shout out to Splash. Congratulations on him. It's $10,000 is a lot of money, and I'm sure he's going to win a good amount more of them this year as well. It'll be fun to see who else is able to compete and how the system goes as the year progresses. But with that being said, that's going to do it for the video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.